So again, I just want to thank you all for coming to Perform for Freedom tonight. The Freedom Cafe, if you aren't aware, is a nonprofit organization where everything is served on a recommended donation basis, and 100% of those proceeds support efforts to end human trafficking. These proceeds are donated to organizations who work directly with survivors of human trafficking. For example, the organization Child Voice, who was a recipient of these donations in 2024. The Freedom Cafe also seeks to provide education in the community regarding human trafficking. For example, right now we're displaying a bunch of artwork that's been created by survivors of human trafficking around the cafe. And there's little descriptions of their story and how they are expressing themselves through the art of these shoes that they've decorated. So if you have a minute and you want to walk around and read some of the descriptions, that's a really great educational piece to inform ourselves about human trafficking in the modern world today. So even though it's not a fun fact that we really like to think about a lot, the reality is that people around the world, millions of people actually, people just like you and me, are bought, sold, and transported and forced to benefit their oppressors. That is a reality of the current world. Targets of this exploitation are typically the most vulnerable people in communities around the world, including women, children, and the impoverished. So this trade is actually so widespread that it generates roughly $150 billion a year. That's more than 5 times the annual income of Google, Starbucks, and Nike combined. So this is a massive, large-scale problem that's occurring all around the globe. And this isn't just a problem that occurs in other countries. I think that's a common myth that a lot of people think about human trafficking. This is actually something that's been reported in all 50 states of the United States, including the state of New Hampshire. So this is both a global and a local problem, and it's really something that needs to be addressed. So right now, I'm actually in an economics class, and one of the more fundamental laws that we discuss is the close relationship that demand and supply have with each other. And I think that, or actually, part of the reason why trade is the trade of human beings is so prevalent and so lucrative is because there is such a high demand for it, and that increases the supply for it. So this is a high demand for sexual exploitation, cheap labor, higher profits, etc. Part of the mission of the Freedom Cafe is to create change in the system that is in place, changing that demand, reducing that demand through education events, through supporting organizations who work directly with victims, and also reducing the demand for products that are made through human trafficking, labor exploitation. Here at the Freedom Cafe, all of the cafe's coffee, tea, chocolate, sugar, sodas, and many other items are purchased either locally, ethically sourced, or from a certified fair trade organization. And this is showing that we can choose to give our money to people and to consumers, sorry, not to consumers, to producers who choose to pay their workers a fair wage and to value ethical values in their production. This is kind of a way of voting with our dollars, where we can choose where our dollars are going to and how that is going to influence change in the market. And so when we make a decision, when we purchase something, we actually have power to actually enact change through our purchases. And so that's what we try to do here at the Freedom Cafe, try to give people at a college town the opportunity to have such a accessible source for having a direct link to ethical sourced goods, especially something as common as coffee and matcha, which is like what we all love to drink all the time. I know I do. So to illustrate this point of consumers having power, I want to do a little something. I think Lacey promised this last week, but if you guys don't mind, I would like to do a magic trick. Now, for a magic trick, of course, I need a volunteer. Wow. All right. So I can beat right up here. This is going to be a little bit of a different magic trick than maybe you've seen before, because it's going to have a little bit of a story to it, okay? So as you can see here, everybody, we got just a normal deck of playing cards, okay? They're all different. Can you confirm? Okay, perfect. I would like you to pick any card that you want. Anyone that you want. You can look at it, I can see it, it doesn't matter, and just show the audience. Maybe we can announce what it is too.
The Queen of Diamonds.
Queen of Diamonds. There we go. All right, so we got the Queen of Diamonds. Now, can you tell me when to stop? Oh, sorry, before I say that. This card is going to represent you as a consumer in the world, okay? Now, I'd like you to tell me when to stop. Right there? Perfect. Now, this is going to represent the rest of the world, being placed into the world as one individual among many. So go ahead, put yours in. Perfect. And when I close this deck, you're now lost in the midst of the world, right? And you're in the middle with a lot of other people who look just like you and have very similar day-to-day actions, right? But that's not all that there is to the world. There's also things that come and disrupt that system. So this is going to be represented by a shuffle. So that's things like, political decisions or, I don't know, market changes, just anything that disrupts the world, right? And to even go even further, I'm going to do something. I'm going to turn the deck upside down and just represent like choices that we make in everyday life, where it just makes a mess, where there's so many things that we can choose to do. Like we can choose whether to go to school, or we can choose to do work from home, or I don't know. There's so many choices that we can make, and it just seems like a very confusing mess. And oftentimes we can feel powerless. We can feel like we don't have a voice or a say in this giant world. And so I'll even show you. We have cards that are facing this way, cards facing this way, and even cards that are back to back. This could represent like a dead-end decision where you feel like you're going nowhere. So again, it's just very confusing, and it's just a mix. You're lost in this world. But I'm here to tell you guys today that actually that myth of feeling like you don't have power is actually a lie. And that if you have confidence and recognize your ability to enact change through your actions and through your choices, that once that happens, something clicks. And at that point, everything falls into order. Except for you, who stands out as a change maker in your community. Those magic tricks, I discovered I had those magical powers when I was about 14 years old. So, YouTube lets you discover a lot of things about yourself. It's kind of crazy. But anyway, just to wrap it up, part of why I love the Freedom Cafe so much is, and why I believe in its mission, is because it educates and connects passionate people like you and like me in a local community to feel empowered to create change on both a local and a global scale. So this can all be done one cup of ethically sourced coffee or matcha at a time. So if you want to stop by the night, throughout the night, stop by the cafe counter, order some drink or something. I'll cook you guys up a good matcha. I'm really repping the matcha. We have the strawberry cold foam right now. It's really good, okay, just recommending. Or if you want a crepe or food or anything like that, make sure to stop by. So yeah, I hope you guys have fun tonight, and I can't wait to see all the acts that everyone has in store. Thanks.